to the 51st episode of the MyMuddlings podcast. I'm your host Julianne, and I'm recording today on a very noisy day, as you can probably hear. We had some really bad weather yesterday. We had a lot of rain, and so my bird Marion hasn't actually been able to go outside for probably a good 3, because it's been super hot, and then we had this cold change with thunderstorms and rain, so she actually hasn't been outside for maybe 4 days, I think. And today I finally thought I could let her out, and she was out for a few hours, and then I noticed that it was beginning to spit with rain, so I had to bring her in. So you're probably going to hear her quite loudly in the background today. So yeah, I'll just apologise for that up front. So yes, I'm here. It's been just under a week because I recorded on Friday last week. It is now Thursday. And yeah, I don't have a lot to talk about today because I did cover a lot last week. And due to my, what I'm going to be calling my New Year's resolution, what's going to be the knit along for the first half of 2018 in the Ravelry group. And by the way, we do have a MyMuddlings podcast Ravelry group over on Ravelry, of course. And if you'd like to join, please head over there and just search MyMuddlings podcast and you'll find us. Join in the conversation. So yeah, and that will be our knit along for the first half of the year. So I've been very monogamous, really, on 3 separate projects, because I finished something that I showed you last week. So yeah, I guess we can start with a little bit of housekeeping, which is pretty much the same as it has been all year, which is to talk about our stash down along, which is still running over in the MyMuddlings podcast group. I don't know if I told you guys last week, but I am offering double yardage for November and December. So if you are lagging just a bit behind, you can get your totals well and truly boosted by knitting along with things that were in your stash prior to the 1st of January 2017, and you will get double yardage for any finished objects that you put in the thread. So if that's not a good incentive to get on with it and get some things finished, then I don't know what is. And we have our sponsors as usual. We have Carolina Clothesline Designs, we have myself, Lovebird Lane Yarns, we have Tamara, I always go to say Tamara instead of Tamara of Tam's Crafty Knits. Sorry Tamara, I always get your name wrong. And also we have Erin of Remade by Hand. And I'd like to thank all of our lovely sponsors, and remember that you do get bonus yardage for using any of our patterns or products. So I will move on from that. Seeing we don't have much left to go on the knit along, it's probably not much point hammering at home and asking people to join, because there's not much point. Unless you want to really sit there and search through all of your finished objects for this year and find out what were made from stash and put them in there. But, you know, all power to you if you want to do that, but it wouldn't be me. So yeah, I have one finished object for you today, and just before I go any further, I'm on coffee today. This is my cute little cup that I got from, oh gosh, I can't remember what it is. Say something hen. It doesn't say on there. Little hen, something like that. I'll put it in on the screen, so I can't actually remember. It's just completely disappeared from my head. But yes, this was my one and only Spendigo purchase. Was this little mug of the little hedgehog knitting, and on the back it says "Knitting keeps us from unraveling." So I have had really bad sleep for 2 nights. I have a ton of highlighter on my face today to try and cover up my dark circles and make myself look a little bit more bright than I am. So I'm drinking some coffee today. Just some very basic instant coffee just to try and keep myself going. It's my second for the day, so I'm not doing too badly if it's only my second. But yes, I will have my cup of coffee close. It's already getting cool, so I probably should drink it. But anyway, let's get on with what I have been knitting. So my finished object for today are my steamer trunk socks, and I showed you guys these last week, and I had one sock done, and I think I was sort of about ready to put the heel in, I think, on the other one. But now I have a pair of completed socks. Yay! So I happened to knit the foot on that second one really, really quickly. I think I know I go through fits and starts with my sock knitting, but at the moment I appear to be on a sock knitting kick, so which is great. So yes, these are going to Simon. I've already handed them to him, and he said, well, what do I want those for? It's summer. Sure, babe. You're welcome. After I gave him a very, very, what do you call it? Not bereft, that's the wrong word, but I gave him a very, you know, sad panda face. He said, oh, thank you, babe. I know for a fact that these will get worn in winter and he'll be very grateful for them. So, yeah, he's one of those people that, you know, if he's full, he doesn't want to look at food, and you say, well, what do you want to eat for dinner later, and say you've had a big breakfast. He's like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to think about food. So it's kind of like if it's not a need for him straight away, he doesn't think about it. So I think that's why he's like, it's summer. What do I need socks for? So gotta love him, right? Anyway, yes, these are for Simon. I used 366 yards of Felici. This is Knit Picks Felici in the steamer trunk colourway. As always, when I do self-strapping, I like to be matchy-matchy, so I've got those pretty well spot on, I think. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with them. I have, like I said last week, I have 2 more balls of this colourway in the Felici to knit myself a pair of socks so we can be matchy-matchy. And yeah, so I'm going to try and get Simon 7 pairs of socks, so at least he has a pair a day, so we can wash them once a week, if he wears them all, of course. So that's what my aim is going to be, and I've decided after that, because I'm not going to give up knitting socks. People keep saying to me, you've got so many hand knit socks, you know, namely probably my mother. Hi Mum, if you're watching. What do you need another pair of socks for? Yeah, people like say, well, what do you want to knit more socks for? And it's like, it's not because I want the socks, it's because I like knitting the socks. So to that end, because I'm going to keep knitting socks, I thought I'd do something special for my friends, actually, and ask them, you know, put out a general sort of notice, are you interested in hand knit socks? Because I'm going to be knitting these. I don't need them. I think I probably have close to 30 pairs in my drawer. I will, of course, all my sock yarns that I personally love and don't want to part with will be socks for me if I do knit socks out of them. But for some of the socks that, you know, some of the yarn that I'm not desperately attached to and I want to knit socks out of them, well, you know, I thought what I would do is get interest from my friends, and they can tell me what their shoe size are, and then I would do a random act of sock. That's what I think I'm going to call it. So once I've got Simon's 7 done, I will probably, any further socks I will probably be giving away. So I'm going to find out my friends' interest and shoe size, and then just randomly send them a pair of socks if I choose to knit them a pair of socks. No guarantees, but yeah, that's my thought, is because I'm always going to be knitting socks, to then just give them away and just have them as little surprises for my friends. Just one day in the post, a little parcel pops up and it's a pair of socks. So I thought that would be cute to do. So yeah, my one finished object, my steamer trunk socks, and they're my normal vanilla sock. You know it, you've heard it a million times. So that's that. Okay, next up I can get into my works in progress, and my first one is one that you saw last week and the episode before. It is my first edition sweater. So I am still going on the body, so it's probably about my waist length, and now that it's just stockinette in the round on the body, it's kind of a little bit less interesting than it was when I was doing the textured section. I don't know if I showed a close-up of that last week, but it kind of makes like a diamondish kind of pattern. So this is being knit from my own yarn. This is my Nyasa Aran base, Lovebird Lanes, and this colour here, this black, purpley, greeny kind of colour, is called Aubergine, and this one is called Violet. So yeah, I think I need to knit 7 inches, so I've got my stitch markers in there, and they're approximately 1 inch every stitch marker. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got just over 1 inch left to go before I start the short rows, because this has got a longer back than front. So yeah, only 1 inch to go till I start my short rows, and I need to get going on this because I have just over a week, I think, to get it finished. So I've got to pull my finger out. I've got to stop knitting socks. I'm really into my sock knitting at the moment, and I've got to stop knitting my socks so I can knit this to be done in time. And this is a test that I am doing, hence the deadline, for Dallas Ann Prentice, who is the Violet Pie. And yes, this is the first edition, and yeah, there's some really nice finished objects popping up on the thread, the test thread. So yeah, I'm keen to have this done. I think probably the thing that's slowing me down on it too is that it's now too hot for me to wear any kind of sweater. So I'm not going to be able to wear this for a very long time, and that's always a little bit demotivating, because you kind of feel like, oh, I don't think I'm going to wear it anyway, it's just going to go into storage. But, you know, I stupidly put my hand up for a test. Not stupidly though, because I love this pattern, it's amazing. Yeah, I've really got to get moving on it, or else it's not going to get finished. And I don't want to upset Dallas Ann. Not that she's scary, but I'm a people pleaser at heart, so I don't like to let people down. So yes, I do really want to finish that because it is beautiful. It's a gorgeous sweater. I can't wait till you see it finished, because I have it imagined in my head, and it's just going to be so good. So I can't wait to get that finished and show you all. And my second work in progress today is another pair of socks, because of course you finish a pair of socks, you cast another pair of socks on. And this is some yarn that I've had for quite a while, so if I finish these by the end of the year, they're going in my stash down thread. And this is some very, very special sock yarn. I spent so much more than I should ever have spent on a skein of sock yarn, because there is a reason it is mustache yarn. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I really have to say. It is self-striping, and it is her very, very special Daily Eggs colourway. So this is super special to me. So like I said, Random Active Sock will not include these precious, precious skeins that I have. So yes, this is the Daily Eggs colourway, which I believe was created to be, you know, to look like chicken's eggs, the different various shades that chicken's eggs can come in. And I've had these because this is, what does she call it? OCD. I believe she calls them the OCD skeins. So basically it's 100 grams of sock yarn, but what Stacey has done is she will have both skeins starting in exactly the same position. So long as you start at the same position on the skein for both socks, they will match perfectly. So that is what I'm doing. So I've had the two balls, you know, skeins balled up for a very, very long time. They sat for ages on my MyMuddlings desk that my dad made me at our old house for a really, really long time, just sitting there staring at me and getting dusty and getting birdseed on them, because that was when we had to keep the birds in the lounge room. But now Marion lives in the laundry, so it's a lot easier to clean up, and there's nothing that can really get damaged by birdseed out there. So yeah, these were sitting on the shelf waiting for me to knit these socks. And part of the reason that kind of stopped me knitting them was partly because I had other things on the needles, and I thought, oh, I've got to get those done. You know, these can be my special reward project. But then they just never got cast on. And I think the other thing was too, because with self-striping socks, I do prefer to have a contrast toe, heel and cuff, simply to keep the stripe progression intact. So I got super lucky with these because I love Nitpick's ash colourway. I have lots of ash on different bases, and that's this lovely grey. It's got probably just a touch of blue to it. It's a nice deep grey. It's not a charcoal, it's more of the silvery blue sort of grey. And just so happens that it is almost identical to the darker stripes inside my sock. So I don't know if the camera will pick up any difference, but to the eye, you can't really tell. I mean, I think Stacey's grey is a touch more blue than the ash, but like on the heel there, obviously I've used the ash for the actual Fish Lips Kiss heel, but I've put it right in the middle of one of the darker grey stripes on the self-striping, so you can probably just see the difference between the two outermost rows, but you're not really going to see it. It's not going to, you know, you put it that far away, you can't even tell. You know, just within arm's length, you can't even tell. So when they're on my feet, you're definitely not going to be able to tell, and nobody else is either. So I was super chuffed with how close that, this is Nitpick Stroll, their merino nylon blend. So yeah, I was super chuffed with how similar that is to the stripe in the yarn. So I'm loving these. As you can see, I finished, you know, the whole half of my steamer trunk sock and all of this since I spoke to you 6 days ago. So I think I'm enjoying my self-striping socks. So yeah, I love this. It's amazing. It's a nice... The sock yarn doesn't feel the softest. I think it's her Perfect sock base, I think is what it was. It doesn't feel super soft, but it does feel sturdy. And honestly, with socks, I mean, you don't have that much feeling in your feet. You can't, it's not like putting it up to your neck. Yeah, I prefer a more rustic, sturdy kind of yarn. Because although, like with the Felici, although that's super soft, they don't wear desperately well, I find, and I love the colours. So I keep buying Felici, even though I don't really think the base is quite what I really like for socks, because I wear my socks in my shoes, you know, in winter, because my feet are always cold. I mean, today they're a touch cold. I could almost put a pair of socks on today. And I just find with the constant wear in shoes and walking around home and things like that, it peels really quickly. It felts a ton. I find that the whole sole of my sock felts massively in Felici because it's just super soft. Like the yarn, although it's a merino nylon blend, it is super soft merino. So yeah, I find that I mean, I've never blown through a pair of Felici. I've never got a hole in them or anything like that because, I mean, they felt. So the felting itself is going to hold all of it together. So I've never worn through a pair. And like I said, I wear a pair of hand knit socks 7 days a week, at least one pair a day. Because, I mean, I've got 30 pairs, like I said earlier. At least a pair a day, and I've not blown through a single pair of socks, ever. I'm still wearing my very first pair of socks that I knit back in 2013. So yeah, I've never blown through them because they are soft, but yeah, I do find that they peel quite a bit and they do felt a bit. So yeah, that's just my experience with Felici. But yeah, this yarn here, I think it's just merino. I haven't double checked. If I'm wrong, I'll put it down because it's obviously got nylon in it because it's a sock yarn. I think it's just merino. I don't think it's BFL or anything, but I'll put it down on the bottom of the screen if I'm wrong. But yeah, it's super nice and sturdy feeling. Like it feels like they're going to be a really good wearing pair of socks. Which, in a way, because the Stroll is not as hard wearing, I mean, it's not as bad as Felici, but it also does tend to felt a little and peel a lot. So I'm hoping that it doesn't completely bring down the what do you call it? quality of my sock after a few wearings by having the knit picks in there. But yeah, I love these. The colours are just gorgeous. And I've never knit a pair of socks with this like thinner like borderline through them, and it's really kind of inspired me to try and figure out how to put that in my own self-striping, because I really like it. I think it works really well, especially if you have a full contrast colour, and then it will make it easier. Like I could make mini skeins of that border contrast colour to go with the sock yarn, so you can still have all your bright colours, and then, you know, your cuff, heel and toe can match a completely different coordinating colour. So yeah, or contrasting colour I should say. So yes, I love these socks. I'm powering through them, and I really shouldn't knit on them anymore because, like I said, I need to get my sweater done. But, you know, I could almost have this sock finished by today, I think. But we'll put them away. Very sadly, we'll put them away, and I will focus on my first edition. Okay, finally, I think I will go through some Lovebird Lane news. I don't really have any blather today. Not much has really happened. I had my mum's birthday dinner the other night. That's about the most exciting thing that's happened all week. So I probably won't have any blather. So I thought I'd go through some Lovebird Lane yarns news, and I have a few things to say. Thank you so much, first and foremost, to all of you who have already purchased a Christmas kit from me the other day. I launched them on Tuesday, and amazingly, within probably an hour of me putting them up, and mostly within 10 minutes of me putting them up, I sold 5 of them, 5 out of my 8. So that was just mind-blowing for me. It's the first time that I've had any kind of update that has really sold that well, and I am so thankful. Thank you so much to everybody who purchased. I was on a high. I was just riding on a high that whole night because I was so excited that you guys loved what I put together. I personally was really pleased with the self-striping that I put together for the kits. And the day that I did my first batches of them, I said to Simon, I said, I'm so pleased with what I've done. I'm so excited. So yeah, the fact that you guys loved it too, it meant a lot, and I'm really grateful for you guys hopping on there and grabbing yourselves a Christmas kit. But that being said, I still have a few left. So if you are interested in getting one of them, I do have 3 left, but they are all only one design. My rugged up woodlands sold out like a flash, and I don't blame you guys because it's super cute. However, I do have a single drawstring bag. I think it was a drawstring bag of the rugged up woodland left. So that is still in the shop. So it'll be the same as this, but in the rugged up woodland pattern that I had. I'll pop a picture in so that you can see. So I still have 3 of these. So I've got 2 of the drawstring bag like this one still up in the shop. And that's, the lining is the Christmas trees. And I have 1 zipper bag, which are quite large. They're probably about sweater size. And it has the same Christmas tree fabric on the inside. So I've got 1 of these and 2 of these still left. And the kits come with some stitch markers, which I'll pop a picture in so that you can see. And they come with some yarn. So let me put them in the right hand. These are my 2 self-stripings. I did show you these off last week on the podcast, and if you go to my Instagram you can see them knit up into swatches. In fact, I'll actually put a picture in, that's probably better. And this is the colourway that comes in the Gingerbread House kit, which is what we have, what the bags that I've just shown you are. So that's festive with its matching mini skein. However, I am getting gauging interest in a possible pre-order for some self-striping. I haven't had like I've had a request from someone and she said that she had a friend that would likely like some as well, and I've had 2 extra people other than that say that they would be interested in a pre-order. However, I really, to make it worth my while doing, because I need to buy a new cone of yarn, I probably need to sell at least 5 of each colourway. So I'm putting this out here on the podcast. If you would be interested in purchasing a pre-order of either of these self-striping colourways. So this one is festive, as I said, and it's a 2-striper. It's the red stripe and then a grey with coloured speckles on it. Or there's Gingerbread House, which is a 4-striper, which has got 2 brown stripes, and in between there's a cream stripe and a pink speckled stripe. And I can also, if there's interest, dye up some of the coordinating mini skeins to purchase along with the self-striping. So if you are interested in this, please do let me know, because I will put up the pre-order and let you guys have at it. Because I think some people loved both of these, but when you buy the kit, you can only get one unless you buy 2 kits, and I'm not expecting anybody to buy 2 kits. So, but yeah, if you are interested in the self-striping, please do let me know, because if I get enough interest, I will definitely put up a listing and let you all know. And the best place probably to do that is to go to my Instagram, which is @lovebirdlane, and I've got a picture of the skeins of self-striping there, asking for comments. So if you want to leave a comment there, you can leave a comment on the thread for this episode on the Ravelry board, on the MyMuddlings podcast Ravelry, in response to the show notes that I put up, or even you can go to the blog, which is mymuddlings.com, and leave me a comment there and just let me know that you'd be interested in a pre-order. So that is that out of the way. And also I have a couple of other things. I have put some more stitch markers up in the shop if you are after some beaded jump ring stitch markers. They all come in a set of 12, which is 10 single beaded jump rings, a 2 beaded jump ring to use as an end of round or beginning of round marker, and a progress keeper of your choice. I have put up a bunch more sets of those if you were after some. And also I will be having a massive sale next weekend and this is twofold, because it's Black Friday in America, and if you are going to be doing some Black Friday purchasing, potentially keep me in mind, because I am having a massive sale, pretty well store-wide. It will exclude any Christmas kits that are still available, but I have been doing some hard thinking about how where I want to go with Lovebird Lane yarns, and I'm feeling like a lot of my older colorways is not really what I enjoy doing, because when I started I did a lot of more tonal colorways, not very many variegateds, and the variegateds that I did do are quite labour intensive, because I can only do 1 skein at a time and that kind of thing. So I've been playing, as you will have noticed in my shop, because pretty much all of the new colourways that I have been working on tend to sell out pretty quickly, which is amazing. Thank you. It makes me feel so good that you guys love what I do. It's so exciting. But yeah, so a lot of my newer colorways are pretty well selling out straight away, and I think that's the direction that I want to go, because I do find that dye technique that my newer colorways are incorporating is a lot more fun to do. It's especially because a lot of it is like, throw it at the wall and see what sticks kind of thing, and it's creating some really awesome colorways, especially because I want to do more variegateds and I want to do more speckles, which is what I haven't done up until this point. I've done a lot of, like I said, semi-solids and tonals. So I'm looking at overhauling the way that I dye, and getting a brand new colorway range. And as part of that, I want how do I put this? I'm looking at new sources for my yarn bases, so I'm looking to find a place where I can purchase do, you know, big wholesale orders where I can purchase lots of different bases as well, because I'd like to get an MCN sock base. I'd like to get a sparkle sock, potentially you know, a silk merino DK, a singles base I really want to get in. So I'm looking at potentially finding new suppliers for my raw materials, and as part of that I need to raise a little bit of capital. So I thought what I would do is to have a super big sale on Black Friday, and as I said, everything will be discounted apart from those Christmas kits if I still have some left, and pre-orders and things like that. If I do put up the sock pre-order, that will not be reduced, just because I really want to clear out the old colorways. So if you do love any of those old colorways, check out my shop now, see what I've got there, and you know, pencil it in. So I'm going to be having some massive savings over that weekend. It will be running from the Friday to the Sunday next weekend. So I believe it's the 24th to the 26th of November. I'll be having a massive sale in there. I hope you can join me, because for the new year, I really want to, you know, start following more of this more exciting, you know, throw it at the wall and see what sticks kind of dye technique. And obviously you guys have been enjoying the new stuff that I've been doing, and yeah, I want to kind of chase that more variegated, more speckles, just a bit more fun. I think I just want to have more fun with my dyeing. So definitely watch this space. I'm going to be mixing up things. I'm trying to work on a new logo. I am revamping my website. I've taken that down for the moment, and I'm revamping the website, getting all my bases on there, clearing out my colorway range, so that I can, you know, start putting the newer range in. And I mean, I will always be able to do the older colorways, so if any of you do want custom orders of the older colorways, I'm more than happy to do that. But yeah, it's probably not something that I'm going to, you know, dye on a regular basis. They probably won't be in stock in my shop, those older colorways. So yeah, that's kind of a bit of an explanation there as to why I'm having such a huge sale next week. So yeah, if you guys do have a little bit of saved up Black Friday money, please, you know, check out my shop and see if there is anything there that you can help me out by purchasing. So yeah, I would like to ideally get down to having 0 of the old colorways left, and so I can start fresh, because I don't know how much dyeing I'm going to do for the rest of the year. I'm not 100% sure. We're going to start getting busy now, seeing it's the middle of November. Simon and I are going away the week after the next, so I won't be getting anything done that week. And then we're into December, so I'm going to be full on, you know, Christmas prep for family things and all that kind of thing. So I don't know how much more dyeing I will get done this year. But yeah, I'm focusing on going a slightly different direction. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I won't completely give up my tonals. But yeah, I want to kind of go in a bit more of a different direction. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having a new improved Lovebird Lane next year. It's pretty exciting. And yeah. So I guess that's probably all I really wanted to say. I do want to express my immense gratitude to everybody who has purchased from me. It is such a huge help to me, not only for the fact that, you know, I get such immense joy from seeing people love what I make, and that's, you know, one of the largest reasons of why I do what I do. And the other part is to help provide for my family, for myself, my husband, and our fur and feather children. Seeing as I, you know, with my mental health issues and things like that, I do struggle to have an outside of the home job. And this is something that I can feed my creative soul with, plus I can, you know, I can manage this with my other health issues. And I'm so grateful to everybody who helps me to realize my dream every day. And I can only see it getting better and better, and I'm so super grateful to be where I am right now. And I just like to say thank you to everybody, and I'm super grateful for all of you who tune into this podcast every week and you know, make me feel like I'm definitely not just talking to a wall. And you know, for your lovely feedback and for the lovely friends that I have made doing this, and I'm so grateful. I'm going to get too mushy in a minute because, yeah, I've just been thinking a lot lately, you know, as we're coming to the end of the year about how grateful I am to be where I am right now, even with all of my struggles, and how many amazing, lovely people I have met through this. And yeah, thank you, I guess, is really the only thing to say. So before I get too mushy and start to cry, I might this is probably because I'm tired, I'm getting emotional. So yeah, I think I will leave it there. I'd like to thank you all again for hanging out with me today, and I wish you all a lovely, lovely, happy week, happy crafting, and I will see you next week. Have a good one. Bye.